So I hope you're still with me so far. We're going to have a look at some strumming now. Now strumming is what we do. We play the chord with our left hand, and with our right hand we're hitting the strings. All right, so let's have a look at how we do that. So when you're strumming, you can use your thumb. Some people like to do that, or put your thumb and your first finger together. So you get that sound. By the way, I'm not playing any chord here, I'm just strumming open strings. So do what you feel comfortable. Obviously there's one problem with these two techniques, and that is if you play a long time it hurts your fingers. So luckily there's picks, and picks you can get any of the music stores. So go in and have a look. There's lots of different types of picks. Some are thick, some are really thin. Just try out a few that you like. This one is about a 2.5mm one. To me, I like the sound of this. It's not too thin and it's not too heavy. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play an E minor chord, and I'm just going to do the kind of strumming that we're going to do in our chord lessons, which is to say I'm just going to strum once. And the reason for this is if you can strum your chord once, you can hear if everything's ringing or not, right? So if I was to count in, if I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. One last one. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so that's pretty simple. Now, what we can do is we can add a strum on each beat, so we can go 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And just check that everything's ringing. If your chord is sounding like this, then it might do when you start. Just try and correct it. Alright. Now the next thing you can do, if you're counting, is you can go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So what you're doing there is you're adding the upstroke. This might feel a little uncomfortable at first. So you're going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now after a while that's going to sound very robotic. So what you want to do is try and mix these strums the other one. So what I was doing there was, if I was counting, that would be 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now I know what you're thinking, we haven't done this E minor chord yet, but that's alright. You can zip ahead if you like to the chord section, just have a little go to learn this chord and then come back. So once you get used to that idea of strumming on the beat, you can do a few more interesting things. I'm just going to do this with the E minor chord again. It's a little thing I called a scratch. I'll just show you what I mean. So you're going. Now all I'm doing there is I'm playing the strings, but as I do, I'm bringing down my right hand at the same time, so that the strings are just muted like that, you see, and you get that little scratch. At first for you it might, you know, some of the strings might ring, but just you can just sit there while you're watching the telly doing that. All right, so try this. You can do I'm E minor again, I'm going chord, chord, scratch. And what you want to do here is try and get a good distinction between the chord ringing and your scratch, all right? So we've got. That's a little good thing you can try there. Another thing you might want to do, as I mentioned before, is just kind of see if you can mix things up. So if you're playing 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can muck about where you put the upstrokes. So for example, if you think you could have a possibility of 8 notes in total, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and if you did that the whole song, your audience will fall asleep. So what you could do is try and muck about, see if you can leave certain notes out. So let's leave out, say, the and of 2. So if we go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Not too bad, sounding slightly different. What if we left out the and of 2 and the and of 4? How would that sound? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so on. Then what you can do, if you're really getting good, you know, is you can put the scratch where you left out the bars there. So you can mix the scratches in with your strumming and just let it feel natural. Over time you'll be able to add things. And it will feel natural to you. All right, hope you did all right with that. Strumming is one of those tricky things that at first when you do it you feel very, you know, very awkward and very rigid. Just try and keep your right hand as flowing as possible, as free and relaxed as possible. All right, so good luck with that.